So we had a really cool immunity challenge. It was the classic wheel and ball game. I really thought I was going to be mediocre at it, and I really was. I kept it going for a little bit, but then the second I looked at it, I lost all concentration, just flew out. James unfortunately won, which gives James his second immunity win. Um, I, it's so hard to read James because he can be really mean, and like there was that tribal issue and the tribal thing. So I don't know how people are feeling about him, but I know he's played a ton of these games before, so I know he will be able to talk himself up at the end. So at this point, I feel like I have a very narrow path. If I want to win, I either have to win another immunity, or and I have to be sitting next to Jeff. I think the only bigger goat in the game right now is Jeff than me. He's a sweetheart, but I feel like he's just been straight up chilling this whole game. Unless he has like an idol in his pocket or something, which I don't think he does, but even if he did, I don't think his name's gonna come up in the next few votes, so he won't have an opportunity to use it on himself. He would only be able to use it on another player to try to weaken them and make them look more weak, so I think I want to sit next to Jeff for sure, obviously. I think literally everybody wants to sit next to me and Jeff at the end, so that's nice and not. Yeah, I think the third person that I'd have the best chance against would probably be Angela. I know she's played a lot of these before. I know she's won at least one, which means she has put up a good tribal performance, but of the rest of the people, I think that she's probably the one that I would have the best shot against, other than Jeff. Danny is another person that I think it would be close, but they're just so likable and so personable and so social. I think that they would pull a lot of jury votes as a result. For this next tribal, we're gonna shoot for Lena. I think the backup vote that Lena will be putting down is Danny. So hopefully either one of those big threats is eliminated at this tribal, and hopefully we flush an idol that Lena might have or some sort of advantage that we think she might have, and then Danny goes. And that sucks, but it eliminates a threat.
So you mentioned a narrow path to the end. Who in that perfect world of you getting to the end would you be working with?
Right now I kind of have good relations with everybody, but I think it's because they see me as somebody that they can bring to the end and beat. So I think anybody is willing to work with me at this point, so it's not them going home, which is a nice situation to be in. It's just figuring out that best combination of people to sit with at the end, which again I think is Angela and Jeff for me, personally.
Very good. And do you think it's absolutely imperative that you win an immunity?
I think it would, yes. I think it pretty much is imperative that I win something. Not to save myself, but to give myself a better resume booster. Thank you. Okay.
So this round did seem a little cut and dry. We were going to have Danny and Lena vote for Angela. Meredith was going to be clueless and vote for Lena because she really wanted that. So okay, Meredith, you push that. And while I love Meredith, unfortunately, I had to manipulate her a little bit because myself, James, and Angela were going to get Danny. Because Danny stands one of the best shots at winning. I think they have a social game that levels up to mine. And so I can't have that in a final because I need to push the social prowess that I have used thus far. However, Lena tripped up, said she had a Zappa vote. Unfortunately for her, she didn't remember that Zappa votes are discounted at 8. So, what was the term that's used? The math ain't mathin'. I think that's the one. So Danny is paranoid and wants to go back to doing Lena, which would make this a 3-3, which is very scary. Then it goes to rocks, possibly, and I think there would need to be a flip, and I would have to, at the 11th hour, ask Meredith to flip to Danny. So I think it could still be done, and I'll just say that I voted along with her and that we need to flip to Danny, and then Danny will go. I'm too stupid to figure this out. No, I'm not. I'm a genius. I think I'm good.
Okay.
All right.
More?
Do you want to say anything else?
Do you have any questions?
Are you willing to go to rocks?
At this point, I don't think so.
Is there anybody that you would go to rocks for?
Probably at this point, James. Based on conversations we've had, he's an emotional player, and I'm sure it's partially gameplay, but most of it's genuine, so I think I would go to rocks for James. 100%.
Is he somebody you're willing to go to the end of the game with?
Yes. Yeah, I would go to the end with James. At this point, I need James at the end because I have an argument against James. James thinks he can out-talk me, and I don't think so. I think I can out-talk the rest of them as well, just based on how I know myself. James doesn't know me that well. We played together Reelfoot Season 8. I was cut way too soon, and we've kind of touched base over Messenger over the years. Great person. I've always wanted to connect with James. I've always wanted to make the drive up to Vegas and hang out, but we've never emotionally connected quite like we have here. So yeah, I would go to rocks for James, but fortunately James isn't the name that would drive, he can't be included in this, so I don't have to go to rocks for James.
Is there somebody still in the game that you need out to make it to the end?
With the conversations I had with Danny today, I was starting to believe that they wouldn't include me in the end, but now I'm starting to believe that they would. The one scary part about going to the end with James and Angela is that they can say that, oh, they flipped, they were able to recover after Jovian and take down a whole alliance. However, actually, there's the rebuttal right there. They couldn't have done that without me. I kept their names out of the rest of Jovian's mouth. I was the one who put out G and got the ball rolling to get rid of old Blizzard, but yet still keep my friends in the game. I will die on that hill.
Amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations, Jack.
I survived. See what I did there? Yeah, and my stomach was in knots that whole time because I was like, I feel like how awful would it be for Ryan to go out for me, just for me to go out next? Like, what was the point? But I feel like I gave an Oscar-worthy performance of being all sad and weak and lonely. It was really hard for me not to talk. I love talking, and I was just like, the whole time. And I'm really proud of myself for getting in on the Amanda vote. It seemed back and forth between James and Amanda, and then ended up being, I think, unanimously for Amanda, which is good. But now let's get to the important stuff. Here we are. We are at Final 6. Very few places to hide. My read of the situation is Jeff and Meredith are good. They're safe. They're not going anywhere. James is obviously safe. So it's me, Angela, or Danny. And what I've been pitching to people is it should come down to, like, who do you think is the biggest threat right now? I've only ever heard people say Danny or Angela, but that's obviously to me. But I had a couple people say if it was me, they would tell me right at Tribal Council. I'm trying to trust. I mean, James flat up told me, he's like, I don't see you as a threat, which I was like, thank you, my performance is working. I am torn. I really hope they're not lying. So, like, this is all under the facade that they're not lying to me, and this is actually the vote. If it is me, like, well done. That's good job then. I'm just trying to figure out if I play this abduct a vote thing. Danny seems to be backed into a corner and asked if I had any way to save them. Speak up. Any way to save them. And I lied, and I said I have a Zappa vote that I could potentially use only this round, so that if this information gets out to someone else, they can't be like, hey, you got to get Lena out because she has an advantage for the next round, which it carries over into the next round. And I think it'd be better for me to hold on to it. But Danny asked if I had a way to save them. I said I had a Zappa vote, and they said I should zap James's vote because James is voting for me, but I'm not sure how that would save Danny. It was all very confusing, and I started to think, I'm like, do I zap Danny's vote to show to James and Angela that I, am distancing myself from them? But I don't think that would be good for me. I don't think this is the time for me to make a move. I think I'm better off continuing to play the not a threat, because I think James and Angela are going to want to bring a not a threat. They're not going to want to bring each other. They're going to want to bring a not a threat. And if I can make it through this round and I still have this in my pocket, I could steal someone's vote. There's only 5 of us. I could steal their vote. That gives me 2. I just need 1 person, and then we're in the majority. And Meredith didn't tell me this, but Jeff said I would love a final 3 with you, me, and Meredith. So I think I could pull Jeff. So I just need to make it through this round, use this, or if I'm feeling really good, not use it, make it to Final Tribal, pull it out at Final Tribal and say, I survived without needing this. When I was down on my luck, no allies, closest person in the game just got voted out. So that's what's all going through my head. This could all just be conjecture, and I'm getting the boot right now. If that happens, YOLO, I made it to top 6. I don't think there was much I could do in that situation, because I'm not trying to be super gamey right now, and I feel like that played to my advantage last round, and I hope it continues this round. Is there anything else that I didn't get? Good?
That's perfect.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Hey. Yeah, this is going to be a tough round for me to live through, I think. I think most of my lives are gone. So best case scenario, best case scenario, me, James, Jeff, Meredith, I'll vote Danny. Danny doesn't have an idol, Danny goes home. Middle case scenario, it ties in a 3-3. Danny doesn't have an idol. But it makes me panic a little bit, and then Danny goes home. Worst case, Danny has an idol, Angela goes home. There's nothing I can do to get my name being the second out there, so I think if Danny has an idol, I am gone this round, which is really frustrating because my name hasn't really been out there much at all this game, which I'm really surprised about, but I am really happy that I've been able to play with the people that I want to. I think right now you have Jeff and Meredith, who everybody wants to take to the end. And then you have the Sharks. There's like me, Danny, James, and Lena. And we're all just trying to fight for that like third spot. And I don't know what I can do to pitch my case. I did just grab Lena because I'm trying to make it so there's not a tie. And that way, if Danny ends up playing an idol and I go home, then that's what was fated to be. That's it.
Cool. Okay, so coming off of the last immunity challenge,
Yeah.
you looked fairly strong towards the beginning.
Yeah.
Is there any reason why you dropped the time
I won't lie. I think when I saw Danny drop, I did get a little bit excited. I've seen Danny do this challenge before. They're very good at it. And I think when I saw them drop, I did shift my focus a little bit. And I could feel my rhythm change, and I was like, oh, my rhythm changed, and then I could not get it back. I had no idea who was behind me. I had no idea who was left in the challenge because you couldn't hear anything. So I knew that I was doing okay. I just didn't know who was left. So.
arcs that you're discussing
Yeah.
going after each other at this point in the game, or trying to find their way to be the third with the other two that you were discussing?
We are all trying to work within each other. Me, James, Jeff, and Meredith have a 4. Danny, James, Meredith, and Jeff have a 4. I have a 3 with Jeff and Meredith. There's a bunch of little groups going, but I don't see any way that they will ever take out a Jeff or Meredith because nobody feels like they're targets. So I think we're just turning inward onto each other. I know James has my back. I think that James might take a stab at me, but I don't think it's this round. But I do expect Danny, Lena, and maybe Meredith to throw a vote my way. But
With all of these random small groups of 3
Yeah.
or 4, what is your personal preference in terms of your
Right.
best case small group to get you to the end of the game?
I want what everybody else wants. I want Jeff and Meredith. I do think this has been a very strange game for me. I usually very much like to be in control and dictate kind of where votes are going. For this game, for me to survive, I think I did have to take a big step back. I came in saying I wanted to be kind of reckless and fun and do risky shit, but James was on my team. So like he took that pedestal and ran with it, and we couldn't have 2 of us. So I did the best I could with what I was given with my tribe. But in the end, I think my best case is probably with Jeff and Meredith. I'm very, very loyal to Jeff. Ideally, I would even go with Lena and Meredith. James, I don't think can be there because he's pissed a lot of people off, but he's also played the hardest. So that's my ideal final 3, I think.
Very good.
Thank you.
So last tribal council was my favorite by far. Amanda had her foot on my neck for like 3 rounds and was trying to get me out. And I sniffed it out. I got the confirmation. I lined up the shot. We took it. She's gone. I am going to take credit for that because I pushed that very hard. She's an attorney. I think taking her out of this game is like a real winning move. Going into immunity, I want to win every single fucking immunity that I can win at this point. There's no, oh yeah, I don't want to look like a threat. I'm already a threat. I've been a threat since like challenge 2. So I need to win everything that I possibly can. Getting this necklace at 6 could potentially assure me final 4 because Jeff has the idol and nobody knows it. And I think he'll play it on me in the next round so long as his name is not floated. And I really don't think anyone's going to float Jeff's name. So if I win immunity next round, great. We're both going. If I don't win immunity, we could still probably both get there. So I'm feeling really good about that. This round, me, Angela, and Jeff got together real quick, said we got to do Danny. It's got to be quiet. We can't look suspicious. We have to exude confidence within our people. The 3 of us are supposed to vote with Danny and Meredith to vote for Lena. My instincts are telling me that Danny is going to try to get Meredith and Lena to vote for Angela instead. And then maybe in a 3-3 tie. I really don't know what the hell is going to happen. Maybe Lena really does have an idol, which I hope she does, and I hope she plays it this time around, because now that Jorge played one idol, that was purple. My assumption is that there's 4 idols. Jorge played the purple idol. I feel like Lena has the blue idol. I feel like Danny has the pink idol, and Jeff has the merge idol. So if Danny just doesn't play his idol, and what's her name? I'm blanking. Lena does play her idol, then the only idol that would be left in the game would be Jeff's, and I would feel super confident having Jeff and Angela in final 5 with me, because I know they're not going to vote for me. This game has been a whirlwind. It's crazy the amount of symbolism to my previous past games, to my actual life. I was at risk for 8th place, which is the best placement that I've gotten a Survivor game ever. I made it past it. I have routinely, I've saw my name twice now, but I still only have 2 votes, and I didn't catch a vote until the final 7, or final 8. So I'm feeling really good right now, but I'm also on alert. I'm also trusting my gut. I'm also sniffing out people, reading faces, reading lips, reading eyes, keeping my eyes on the prize, and overall I'm just super fucking happy to be here.
Heck yeah. So you won the individual immunity necklace.
I
First of all,
did.
congratulations. Second of all, in that moment where you won, what were the initial feelings that came to you?
I'm a crybaby. I'm a Pisces, and I don't play these games to strategize and manipulate. I know that I'm good at that, but it doesn't make me feel good inside to do it. It's almost like leaning into a past version of me that had to do that in life, and I think that's why I'm so good at that. But I play these for the competition, and when you dig inside yourself and pull out this like last level of inner strength that you didn't know that was there, it's just this immense feeling of like self-pride and self-confidence and self-love and being proud of myself and knowing that I don't have to worry this fucking round after seeing my name in the last 2 rounds. So it's an incredible feeling, and I wouldn't trade it for the world.
Very good.
Good.
Amazing.
Okay, so I am finding myself at a serious crossroads right now. I feel like people are bullshitting me. People have lied to my face. Lena says she has a Zappa vote, which I know expires at the final 8 and doesn't want to show me. So I'm like, what could that be? She's also the only person left from Miskella that could have an idol. Then there's Angela, who could be somebody that I don't see myself beating and has a great under-the-radar game. And then I feel like I just won an immunity and now I'm in a vulnerable position. And the funny thing is, I've literally been in this exact position on Survivor BC Season 9, my first ever game. I won the Final 7 immunity, had an idol, played it at 6, wasted it, and then got taken out at 5th. I also never had my name written down in this game, and that was the exact thing that happened that time. So I'm having like serious deja vu, and I don't know if this is like my galaxy curse, like trying to resurrect itself and like have me fix my mistake by not playing my idol, but like, am I stupid to sit here and think that the people don't see me as a huge threat? Like, yeah, Lena has 3 votes locked, but like, I am a social butterfly in this game. Like, I think I've played a good game, and I think people are wising up to that. My name has been thrown out a lot, but my name has never been written down. So it's like, I'm oscillating between 2 moves right now. One move is play my idol, vote for Angela, send her home with Lena, and come to the final 5 with Meredith, Jeff, and myself as a trio with Lena and James duking it out with each other because they don't get along as it is. Or I vote Lena because I know James is voting Lena. I have a strong feeling that Jeff won't write my name down. So that's at least 3 votes towards Lena. If Angela and Lena try to pull something like, I don't know. Then there's just voting for Lena and keeping my idol. But would I hate myself if I went home with my idol? Then there's plan number 3, which is like balls to the walls. I just pull out the idol, put it around my neck, and say that I'm playing it tonight. But I think that would end up sending people into voting for me. So it's like, do I fall into the same pattern that I did last time? Or am I thinking it over too much and I just need to go with what my gut's saying? But as I'm standing here thinking through my plan in Confessional, which is never a good idea to future Survive players, I think if I want to get to the end and have a shot at winning, I can't play my idol tonight because I will be vulnerable at 5 and 4, and people are going to throw me out. Like, Meredith is back at camp literally painting a stone. Girl, I love you so much, but like, you and Jeff are dead in the water and are everybody's ideal final 3. So when there's people like that in the game, there's only one spot we're vying for. So I have to play a winning game, sprinting towards the finish, and I just don't know if I picked the right 2 allies, because I should have picked people with bigger targets on their back. And I'm thinking tonight I am going to have a lot to think about, and I'm still not even sure what I'm going to do. So y'all better tune into this tribal council, because if Lena stands up, I'm standing up. God only knows other people are going to start standing up, and I think the fireworks are going to start exploding, because this game is like within inches of the end, and I don't want all these 7 days of hard work to mean nothing if I just sit on my hands and go, yeah, no, I'm not going to play my idol and I'm going to be fine, and then next thing you know, I'm doing my final words. So everybody say a prayer right now and hope for the best, because I am stressed the fuck out, and let's see what happens.
What is your ideal final 3?
Meredith and Jeff. But I don't know if they are the best move to go with, because like, honestly, at this point I think I could almost beat about anybody, but what I can't do is take out Meredith and Jeff. Nobody wants to write down their name. I don't see a world where we're going to be able to convince them to take them out. James is still a big enough threat that I want to cut him. Lena's still a big enough threat I want to cut them, and Angela is a really good talker. So it's like, I don't see people wanting to vote off Meredith and Jeff, and that's frustrating, because that's 2 seats that are completely full, but they're the seats with the people that I want to work with. Those are my day 1s. I literally promised Meredith final 3. So like, it's like so frustrating because I'm finding myself just sitting here contemplating how I could get to the end, and getting to the end for me is going to have to be cutting my allies, and I don't think the other people want to cut my allies. So I'm like, great, now I need to rely on these allies who I think are bullshitting me this round. Ugh, it's just a lot. So I think I'm getting flustered, and I can't be flustered because I need to use all of the brain power that I have left to make the smartest move for myself right now. This is where my game is either won or lost. And if I pick up my bag of tribal council, y'all know that it's about to go down. So we'll see. I'm very nervous. I've never felt this nervous in the game. Ooh. Yeah, we'll see.
Very good.
Oh my god.
Good luck. Thank you. Good luck.